Welcome back to the show. This is Shaun Spins. I'm your host, Shaun. And this is episode 8. Hope everybody's well and safe. And we have something interesting for today. Something from the early 90s that I feel does not get a lot of credit as a great album. We got Urge, Overkill, Saturation. Let's get into a little bit of the history, the year this album came out, and let's break down the album and why I really like this album. Let's start the show. Let's go back to 1993. Biggest selling album of that year, the Bodyguard Soundtrack. I do not own a copy of that. I think my mother had a copy or two. It's kind of interesting when one looks back to the history of music. You know, me looking back today, like just searching, type in albums from the 1990s, and it pulls up a lot of albums that I feel as though didn't sell as well as the future might think. I'll give some examples here. Now, some of the albums that come up when I did a search for 1993 albums, Frank Black, PJ Harvey, The Breeders, Belly, Primus. Yet, I don't remember everyone having those. They weren't, to me, mainstream hits. I love every one of them. Kind of interesting that the Breeders and Frank Black at the same time that year. I would say out of all of them, I'd say the Breeders was probably the biggest selling of them. But that Primus, great stuff. PJ Harvey, I think is the best from that probably. Anyways, you gotta dig a little deeper. What was the biggest selling and how Urge Overkill kind of got lost in the shuffle. So let's go a little deeper into the bigger sellers. Now these albums I feel were more of the bigger mainstream albums. We have Meatloaf, which I do not own a copy. Aerosmith, I do not own a copy of that. Funny enough, at that time, I was still listening to this classic Aerosmith tape from way back in the day. I never got into this album. In Utero came out in 93. Bought that the day it came out. Pearl Jam's second album came out. I think I got that the day it came out, too. It came in like a cardboard kind of papery CD case. Now, somehow, Urge Overkill Saturation album, I feel like it's in the middle. That first group, second group more, and then Urge Overkill. Yet I really feel this is probably one of the best albums that came out. And I still feel almost 30 years later, it's probably one of the best that's come out since. Let's break down that album a bit and why I like it so much. Now here's the album I feel might be the best from 93, if not one of the best ever made. Urge Overkill Saturation. Hey, isn't that Kurt Cobain over there wearing an Urge Overkill shirt? I always wondered if Kurt wore the shirt because he wanted to be on their original label, Touch and Go, or did he really like the band? Now, interesting story. This is not their first album. Urge Overkill used to be on Touch and Go. This is their first album on Geffen. Makes one think, did Kurt have a part in this since Nirvana was also on Geffen? I feel as though this might be one of the best albums made from that time. If not, like I said, since. It's an amazing album. It's one of those albums one could put on and go through the whole album, and it's just great. One song after another is great. I just feel as though it hadn't caught on, and I don't know. Like, I feel as though it should be one of those albums that needs to be heard. Let's break down the record a little bit and what's so different about it compared to other formats. Well, here's the album, and this is an original press of it, of Urge Overkill Saturation. Still has the old price tag when I got it. $8. I don't think it's $8 anymore. Also has this interesting sticker on the cover. So when was the last time you listened to a really great album, question mark, exclamation mark, Sister Havana in quotations, which was the first song on this record, adds July 13th. Not quite understanding what ads mean. I guess it means adds to the next great album. It is a promotional. It's got a little gold impressing in there, right over the barcode. Now, funny thing, there seems to be a sticker underneath it, which I actually found today. An interesting little sticker, limited edition orange vinyl and then Viva la Vinyl. It makes me wonder if Geffen was trying to bring back vinyl, because I've said this before, vinyl was not really around in the 90s. Very, very rare to come by. You might be saying to yourself, Shaun, you talk about this album a lot. How much can you possibly like this album? Well, I'll break it down. I got it on CD too. CD actually has a hidden track in it. Record does not. Shaun, you like the album that much? Yeah, I got it on cassette too. This also is a promotional. Doesn't have the cover. Makes me wonder if Geffen didn't know the cover yet. Funny thing about this, one would think there's a little bit more information. Nope. Geffen put just a little tiny blurb in here about the band. That's it. There's no information about management, nothing. Going on tour, nothing. Makes me wonder what Geffen was thinking. Now, the back cover of the vinyl does match the CD, which is pretty cool that the CD didn't go with the usual horizontal technique for art, that you actually turn the artwork to get that same vertical pose for the photo. Pretty cool. Biggest difference with the CD is the photographs inside are color, and there's extra photographs. So the photographs for the book itself go on the sleeve of the album, and it's black and white as compared to color on the CD. Same pictures here on the back of this are also in the CD, also in black and white. There's a few extra color ones in the CD booklet, color photos of the band. As the sticker said, underneath the other sticker, it is on orange vinyl. Kind of thin. Engraved into it too, it also says Viva la Vinyl towards the end. As I said earlier, the hidden track is not on here. One thing I've always wondered, it has the more European Geffen label, not the initials. And I've always wondered about that. I love this album from start to finish. To me, what in the world is that?
No, I didn't. I did. What was going on? Where can I push that?
Okay, we'll get back. It's just one of those albums you can put on and listen to it from start to finish. I like the little things they have in parts of the song. Kind of reminds you of something that Kurt Cobain would do back in the time, adding little voices and TV things and commercials to the music, which is pretty interesting. Now, Sister Havana, I remember taking off from this album. But to me, the whole album is just beautiful. One of my favorite parts is the transition before Erica came. It's a beautiful transition song. It's just beautiful. So a lot of the transitions in there, the little tiny things going on, little voiceovers and things. It's really cool. Now, as a guitar player, I love the tone in it. A three-piece band, and the tone is outrageous. I'm wondering if there was severe multi-track. It doesn't sound like multi-track guitars, but I imagine make it sound that big. It must have been, but it's actually a pretty cool tone. It doesn't sound very produced. I'm not sure why this album didn't catch on as well. To me, I think it's great. It's a great sounding record. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Shaun, is there a big difference between the CD and the record? A little bit. I find that the CD has a little bit more bass than the record. I also enjoy listening to the tape, believe it or not. I listen to the tape a lot in the car. Same thing with the CD. I've listened to that a lot. As I said, though, I think I might prefer the record just because I like, I'm a guitar player and I like the guitar tone. I mean, that guitar tone is just something else. It's great. It's a great album. Now, I got it a while back, $8. I've seen them selling for much more. I saw one for sale today for $200. That's outrageous. I know they repressed it. I've seen it online. I think I've seen it in 2 different colors. And I've thought about getting a repressing because something about mine, it's very fragile. And it skips on one song now, and that's always upset me. So I've always wanted to get a new one, but it's a very fragile album, which I don't know why. If you get a chance, though, I would definitely give it a listen. Give it a listen all the way through. It goes through these movements. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album. And it has to be my favorite from the band. I have other ones from the band too, earlier stuff, and I prefer this album a lot. It's one of my favorites, and it's been a favorite for a long, long, long time now. Well, until next time, hope everybody's well and take care.